welcome to our next workshop. I want you to have a look at this phrase. This phrase could be the key to your understanding how to improvise, how to function in jazz, how to function in fusion. Now, why do I say it's the key? Because it uses two different things that we are familiar with: stickings and a simple subdivision that we can easily get our head around.
So the great thing about these phrases is that it allows you to use two things that you're familiar with: 16th note subdivisions and paradiddles. Okay, this is a little sticking that I call the magic sticking. It's wonderful for phrasing, to get phrases out. This is a wonderful little sticking that really will open up your playing. So I'm using these two things so you can get used to improvising with this type of phrasing. The most important thing is to be able to extend this phrase. You can do right hand lead with it, you can do so many things with it, but one of the most important things is to be able to get used to extending the phrase, building upon it, using diminution and augmentation as we've talked in the last workshops. Those things are really important in fusion because you really need to support the soloist. You need to keep the structure, all the things that we talked about in the jazz series, but with a rock feel or a funk feel, whatever kind of a feel you want to put into it. So these subdivisions are really good for that kind of a thing. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Another great way to feel this phrase is double time. Just have a listen to this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
As with anything of this nature, there are tons of variations, and the more you can do of them, the better. Here is one that you might also find interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. little faster one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and fast. And with match grip, I'm a little fast. Let's just do match grip. So that's the basic phrase. Now, your first step is to move it to the toms, to start getting some movement around the kit, okay? So I would suggest just doing this. All right, on the first tom. Don't worry about anything else. Then maybe put a hi-hat in there just to give you some sense of pulse, because it's maybe a little bit tricky of a phrase. All right, so the secret to these phrases is to double the speed, okay? When you're playing a groove, when you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, you can double that speed and it's going to sound really nice, okay? So it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so double on the high tom now. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now to get it on the cymbals, what you're going to need to do is play it with the bass drum on the cymbals on each accent. All right, so what I suggest is just taking 2 cymbals at first. So let's take this and this. All right, so here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, nice and relaxed, and not too fast a speed just yet. So next we're going to take this one, and you're doing kind of a lateral outward movement. Here, I'm just going to play it on the, this is why it's good to have a splash on top. Don't have to take so many stands. So I'm going to do one of the notes on the crash and one on the splash, all right? So it's going to sound like this. All right, now to add more cymbals, we would complete the whole set. I'm just going to move out laterally to this cymbal here and this cymbal here. All right, so it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's take it a little faster now. This is where it gets to be a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's do that within a groove to see how you can use this exactly. 1, 2.
So now you can see how a little thing like this can turn into a gigantic study. Making sure that you know how to improvise with some basic phrases can lead to an infinity of amount of vocabulary. There's also the issue of parallel learning. In order to accelerate the process of learning all this stuff, you need to have a very efficient method. Now, what most great musicians do is this concept of parallel learning. So to learn material that only gives you a certain amount of results is almost counterproductive at a certain point in your career. You need to know how to apply things into your practice schedule that are going to give you maximum results across the widest spread of genres. That is parallel learning. Some things are real specific to each genre, of course, and you have to concentrate on those things at some point. But to be an all-around player and to maximize your practice effort, you'll see that there is a string of vocabulary that goes across so many genres. That's why parallel learning is so important. Remember this. This is all you have to remember. Parallel learning. Parallel learning is selecting material that gives you many results at the same time. This is an essential strategy for great players all over the world who need to absorb massive amounts of material. It's simply impossible in one lifetime to learn all there is about drumming, but the concept of parallel learning, when carefully planned out, can help you achieve maximum results in your career. What exactly do you do in parallel learning? You have to find a teacher that knows how to give this material to you until you know how to develop it yourself. Another thing I suggest is watching the fusion masters. Of course, Tony Williams, Billy Cobham, all the greats of fusion drumming, and get an idea of what they're doing and see what you need to do to get to that level. Now, I'm kind of giving it to you here on a silver platter. If you've been following the jazz series, you're going to know the essentials of everything you need. But still, I recommend highly watching, listening constantly. I hope you enjoyed this workshop. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.